Good day, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome back to Team Fortress 2. Today, going to be playing as the soldier using the black box, the buff banner, and the escape plan. Today, I also happen to have a pocket medic on me, Metascout, also known as Dat Texan Engineer, using the Kritz. We do get a couple of good Ubers out, which is surprising considering our general luck with the Kritz, but you know what, I'm not really going to get into too much detail about that. One thing that's really important to point out about this gameplay itself is that I'm not playing on a payload map. A lot of you have probably realized that I have an unhealthy obsession with payload. But today we're actually playing something different. And this is kind of where the problems arise, because CP Gorge is probably my only favorite control point map. I can't really say I enjoy most of the control point maps. I think my second favorite would have to be CP Gravel Pit, but then it ends there, just because I don't really like the design of Dust Bowl. I absolutely despise steel, and Mountain Lab is kind of sketchy. I mean, the third control point can be kind of difficult to capture sometimes. I'm not really going to get into too much detail about this. I'm just going to say that CP Gorge is definitely one of my favorite maps of all time. I really love its alpine setting, I love its layout, all the flanking routes you can take. It's a pretty good map for sniper too, if you think about it, with all the flat ground you can take and all the distances you have. Despite it being relatively small, it still is a pretty good sniper map. But today, we're not really going to talk about the map itself. What we're going to be talking about is the black box. Now, I'll admit, when I first got back into Team Fortress 2, I was not much of a fan of the black box anymore. I used to use it quite frequently, but now it's just kinda, well, you're trading off a single rocket in order to get 15 health on hit. That is pretty good, but you're still removing one rocket from the chamber, and it probably would have been better if I had something like the shotgun, or even the Righteous Bison equipped for this sort of situation. But in the end, it actually does work out. I do have a kind of a legitimate reason as to why I actually do have this equipped, especially with the buff banner, which gives me mini crits, and because I have a pocket medic on me. Now, the reasons for this are, the Kritzkrieg is a very difficult metagun to use. Now, that's saying a lot, because when you do pop Uber, you pretty much have to play as you would without having an Uber, except for the fact that you have 8 seconds of guaranteed critical hits, because the Kritzkrieg does not offer any sort of bonus healing or invulnerability effect when you're Ubering. You have to be pretty careful when you're popping the Ubers. But the reason I have the black box equipped is for pretty much my own survivability, because usually whenever I get Kritzkrieg popped, I tend to die quite immediately. My effect on the battlefield does not last very long, and I just end up dying, maybe killing 1 or 2 people. But this actually works out in my favor, because bear in mind, as long as you hit someone with a critical hit, not only are you doing a lot of damage, but at the same time you're still healing, and that is just such a very good attribute. It's also why I have the buff banner equipped, of course, so even then, as long as I have mini crits, I can still deal out a relatively large amount of damage and still heal at the same time. So, technically, the medic could still die on his own. He doesn't really have his own kind of protection. It's up to himself to survive in this sort of situation. But if you're not really good at staying alive when you're being popped by a medic, then it's probably best that you put something on like the black box. At least then, you'll be able to survive a little bit longer. And even then, I would recommend that you put something like the shotgun on, because, well, to be honest, the buff banner is kind of contradictory if I have a pocket medic on me in this case. So, to conclude on that topic, the black box, it's good, especially if you need to survive. I would definitely recommend that you put this on. I would also recommend that you put something like the shotgun or the Righteous Bison on as a secondary, because that will allow you to output a bit of extra damage after you've regained just a little bit of health from the Kritzkrieg map. Now then, we're going to move on from that subject, because I kinda wanted to talk about how I did not get a video out in the past couple of days. Truth be told, I got a virus. I think I got it from a family member. I was sick for the past couple of days. I had a dry throat, first of all. I'm pretty sure you all know the process of having a virus. First of all, you get the dry throat, and then you just have congestion for what seems like an eternity. I was in no fitness for commentating at all. It was just awful. But I'm glad it's over with now, so I can get back to making videos. It's good to be back. sorry about the delay, but then again, not really sorry because I can't really prevent myself being sick except for taking medication, in which case, I strongly recommend you do that. And this gameplay is coming down to a close right here. I kind of failed to protect Metascout right here in a second because I go a little bit aggressive and he does get a health kit over here, but then he gets set on fire twice by a flare. And yeah, it would have been better in this case if I had something like the stock rocket launcher equipped. And this is of course where the stock rocket launcher is a lot more strong in this situation because by then you can output a lot more damage. But it doesn't matter anymore because I happen to have a buff banner charged right here. And we are going to go ahead and capture the control point in the remaining time we have. A full 7.5 minutes. I don't think we can get it, you guys. I think we're just going to have to skip ahead to the point where we lose the gameplay. And that'll be the end of it. I burped. I really didn't mean to burp, but I really couldn't prevent that at the same time. We win right here. It was a pretty good match. Top scored, Metascout and I. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great day or evening. And I guess I will see you in the next video.